is crossover, basic crossover mechanics. Okay, the difference to me, again this is to me, I haven't really heard this definition, between shuffling and crossing over is that crossover is a commitment, a total commitment to going either right or left. The athlete's consciously made a decision they need to gain as much ground as possible in a short period of time. All right, so I need to get my hips going east or west, drive this leg up and across. Something happens, I need to either beat somebody to a spot or I need to suddenly change direction. I get my hips going across, and again I need to recover in my universal athletic position. Good feet to hip width ratio. If I'm going back to my left, again it's a commitment through the lower body, going east or west, but then recovery in my multi-directional athletic position. So what you'll see initially with athletes is they'll come in their crossovers, they have no pelvic torso or lower upper torso like dissociation, where everything, either nothing moves, okay, where they get this, okay, and you can't gain any ground that way. There's no horsepower in that movement. Or you're going to gain a lot more ground if I'm able to commit and get my hips going west, okay, here, and then recover, as opposed to these short little crossover that's restricted or propelled solely through like hip, ab, and adduction. I need to get those hips going east or west. So I need to dissociate this pelvic movement. The other thing is that your athlete will turn everything together. Again, this could be a core issue, which I'm going to show you some restorative exercises here in a second, how to apply some movement mechanics to some other components of training to get the most out of your training session. We have to be able to, as an athlete, get our hips moving. Whether you're a multi-directional athlete, a field and core sport athlete, or a rotational athlete, or a sprinter, the lower core, lower torso, and upper torso have to be able to dissociate. Okay? And that is an example of deep stability and control of the spine. Because if you can't dissociate, everything's going to move together, or you're going to move through the wrong segments. So in a crossover example, everything goes this way, okay, and now, if I have to change direction or reposition myself, it's going to take a lot of energy and a lot of time to get my whole torso around. Where if I cross over with good dissociation through my hips, right, I can use the strength of my core and the elasticity in my core to swing my hips around and get in a good position. All right, especially in the example or specific instance, which I just need to beat somebody to a spot. Okay, it's not a full commitment to crossover and a run. I'm trying to actually gain a lot of ground in the shortest period of time to beat somebody to a spot. Okay, so remember that you're going to be able to program or really back engineer your athlete and work on some movement mechanics and other components if you look at it from that perspective, that restorative perspective. Your crossovers, okay, very basic. Commit to going to your right or left. Get this hip going, okay, east or west, this pocket, my Nike logo here, going, and then recover with the ability to get back into that universal athletic position. Okay, this would be crossover with stabilization or crossover and stick. You crossover, adjust. You crossover, adjust. You can make that as random as you want. You can get it as advanced as you want if you feel comfortable with it. If your athletes still look good. If your athletes are making this look good, it's a good drill. As soon as it gets out of control, it's no longer a good drill. Okay, this should look coordinated. This should look choreographed. All this stuff, you need to make your athletes look good. They're going to retain what feels good to them most often. If it's clunky, if it's uncoordinated, if it's not smooth, okay, it's probably too advanced of a drill. Next, crossover running. So those two. Basic principles to moving sideways, shuffling and crossing over. Next, crossover run. Important for a variety of sports, a variety of positions. You can apply it to your own example. The crossover run starts with the basic locomotor patterns, marching and skipping. Because I need to be able to get into this position to apply substantial force down into the ground to propel myself in an angular run or a crossover run. All right, but I need to get in here first. So a lot of your linear mechanics, linear marching, A marching, A skipping, with good front side ground preparation are going to be important. You can make that more specific by then just moving to your side, starting in place, okay, in 2 inches, with emphasis on pushing off the left leg. Push, push, okay. You can turn that into a skip, 2-inch skips. You can make it more aggressive, 2-inch skips for distance. Okay. That application, that front-side preparation and application is what is important in this drill. Turn into a crossover skip. Okay. And then progress to the crossover run. Now, I've been through the curriculums. I know how advanced they can become to the point of cumbersome. Make your athletes better than they were the day before, and don't get too caught up on the cumbersome joint angles and technical drills that might actually slow your athletes down. Okay? Get them a little bit better, get their understanding a little bit better of this idea of being a projectile and pushing away from the ground. Get their fundamental movement qualities better, and things will come together, especially in young athletes.